Hola gentes y bienvenidos a Juego de Tronos, versión Telltale Games. Y en el capítulo anterior vimos como a Gareth lo enviaron al muro. El mamón de su tío nos envió al muro. Y conocimos a Ethan, que se enfrentó al tipo este que mandó matar a la familia de Gareth. Así que vamos a continuar. Y creo que vamos a ver ahora a la hermana, a una de las hermanas de Ethan. Así que vamos a darle.
Your sister can help us. Although just a handmaiden, she has Marjorie
Mira
Tyrell's
Forrester,
favor.
vale.
And Lady Marjorie's betrothal to the king may be enough to keep the Boltons at bay, if it's presented to her as it should be.
A ver si podemos detener al Bolton de los cojones. Vale, la controlamos a ella. Oh, calentador de carbón. Vamos a encenderlo, que hace frío. Pero no hay carbón. Vale, muy útil. Pues estas cositas sí que las tiene Telltale Games, ¿no? Pone cosas estúpidas que no vienen a cuento para nada, no sirven para nada. Mirad. Solo para perder el tiempo. Uy, una moneda, una carta y libros. 2 monedas, de hecho. Árbol Ironwood tallado. A ver.
Ethan made this for me.
Oh, qué bonito. Vale, la carta. Leer.
Father, much excitement here in King's Landing for the coming wedding. Lady Marjorie has proven to be quite popular throughout the city. I do wish you and Mother could come, although I know it would be impossible under the circumstances. I miss all
Esa
of
boda
you,
nos sale tampoco muy
and I
bien.
look forward to the day you can.
No hay más, no escribió más. Hasta aquí puedo leer, como en el 1, 2, 3. Vale, moneda. Broche de alto jardín. Y moneda Yunkai. A ver.
Asher sent me this coin to remember him.
Vale, su otro hermano.
What a strange place, Essos.
Esos.
It was very kind of Lady Marjorie to give this to me. It once belonged to Lady Elena.
Pues vale. Muy útil la información. Por cierto, vamos. Un segundito. Vamos a mirar los códices. Miramos a Gregor, creo. Y a Lady Elisa. Vale, pues vamos a mirar a Roderick para verlos a todos. Roderick Forrester, hijo primogénito, el hijo mayor de Lord Forrester. Roderick fue entrenado desde edad temprana para cargar con el peso del liderazgo. No le sirvió de mucho. Verdaderamente estaba hecho para ese rol, fuerte, carismático y formidable en el campo de batalla. Cuando Robb Stark llamó a sus banderizos a la guerra, Lord Forrester pidió a Roderick que se quedara atrás para proteger a Ironrath. Pero Roderick no quería oír nada al respecto. En cambio, cabalgó junto a su padre y lideró a la caballería de los Forrester con tal valor que su nombre llegó a ser temido entre las filas de soldados Lannister. Vale. Asher Forrester, segundo hijo, exiliado. Uy. Asher siempre fue un joven rebelde riñendo en tabernas, acostándose con putas y buscando formas de despertar la ira de su padre. Pero su vida dio un giro oscuro cuando a los 17 años se enamoró de Wynne Whitehill, la hija mayor del acérrimo rival de su padre. Hubo derramamiento de sangre y Lord Forrester tuvo que afrontar 2 terribles opciones: ir a la guerra o exiliar a Asher a través del mar angosto. Escogió la última. Asher permanece en Essos. Vale, este es el que le hemos dado la monedita esa. Hasta el día de hoy, viviendo como un mercenario, tratando de no pensar en la vida que dejó atrás. Eso es lo de los asesinos. Es que, como no he leído los libros, lo de el asesino ese que se transforma y tal. No sé, que le da la moneda también a... Oh, ¿a Arya? No sé. Bueno, ya veremos más personajes en siguientes capítulos. Sigamos. Un libro. Tomo viejo lleno de polvo. A ver.
Wonders Made by Man, by Lomas Longstrider. A gift from Roderick.
Pues todos son regalos. Tu habitación llena de regalos, hija
I
mía.
hope to see them all someday.
Hola, lávate el pelo, ¿no? Ah, también vamos a mirar por la ventana. Venga.
King's Landing.
No me jodas.
I wonder if it's sunny at Ironrath today.
Mira el tiempo. Oh, otra carta. Carta de madre.
It troubles me to even ask this of you, but you must appeal to Lady Marjorie to intervene on our behalf.
Vale, esta es la
She
carta
is
que
our
nos envió.
best hope, and can be a powerful ally, especially now when your family so desperately needs her help.
Para ver si puede hacer algo contra Bolton. Vale, han llamado a la puerta, pero paso. Seguir examinando la habitación. No me dejan. Vale, ya voy, tranquilo. Tranquilo, espera un segundo. Espera que... Joder, no me das tiempo, niño. ¿Qué haces colándote en mi habitación? Ya. Pues sí, pírate. Pírate, ala, a mamarla.
Later would be best.
Of course, milady.
Ala, fuera. Niño repelente que no sé ni quién eres, venga. Te cuelas aquí en mi habitación como si nada. No, aquí todo el mundo colándose. Hombre, un personaje de la serie.
Lady Marjorie, you're early.
I was hoping there would be time for us to talk. Come, there's something we must discuss. From the day you arrived in Highgarden, I've thought of you more as a friend than as my handmaiden. A dear friend, in fact.
Thank you, my lady.
And you know how I feel about what's happened to your family. I feel your pain as if it were my own. What you've suffered is beyond imagining. And your poor family as well.
I need your help, my lady.
Of course, and I will help you in any way I can. But there's another matter we must attend to first.
Okay.
You must understand there are limits to what I can say, especially here in King's Landing, now that I am to be queen. To have a handmaiden from the north whose family fought for Robb Stark. It raises questions at a time I can least afford. Cersei herself cornered me this morning outside the Royal Sept. She mentioned the northern girl in my service, and she painted you a traitor. She was very pleased with herself. Her face was full of mirth as she said it.
What does she intend to do?
She intends to make you miserable, knowing that will make me miserable as well. She demands an audience. She wants an apology of some sort.
¿Por qué? ¿Se va a disculpar? ¿Por el puto Bolton?
Waiting for us now, and I promised I would bring you to her.
Bueno.
I wouldn't ask this of you if it were not important. I cannot afford
bueno, voy a seguir
any
siendo un cabroncete. No tengo nada por lo que disculparme.
I cannot apologize, my lady. I'm not a traitor.
I know you're not, but you must find a way to appease her. Humor her. Tell her what she wants to hear.
Ni de coña. Me cae mal, Cersei.
See if the Queen Regent is ready to receive us.
Vaya puertas que se gastaban, ¿eh? Uy, se me está mirando... Mira a la reina... Bueno, a la prometida del rey de forma muy lasciva.
I know you will. You may feel one thing, but you must say another.
Good luck.
Hala, vamos a ver al puto verbenero. Estaba la puerta abierta ya. ¿De dónde ha salido tanto guardia? Hola, puto verbenero. ¡Hombre! El puto amo. Está ahí, con su hermana.
You can do this.
No puedo ir hacia atrás. Solo puedo mirar un poco a la izquierda a la derecha. No puedo girar, no puedo hacer nada. Míralo, el puto amo, ahí está.
Ah, Lady Marjorie. Aren't you looking lovely this evening?
Gracias.
Lord
vale.
Your Grace?
Puto.
With your permission, allow me to introduce Lady Mira of House Forrester.
Mantener cabeza en alto. Oh, hombre, no.
Truly, Your Grace.
I should hope so. Speak falsely, and it'll be worse for you.
Vale, ¿quieres honestidad? Vas a tener honestidad.
House loyal to the king.
Are they?
I beg your pardon, Your Grace.
I wasn't talking to you. I want to hear from the girl. Is your family loyal to the king?
Perhaps you should ask the new Lord Forrester.
He's not here, is he? She is.
Al único y
Yes,
verdadero
yes.
rey.
To the one true king.
The one true king. Yet she didn't say which. The girl is clever.
She only meant...
I don't care what she meant. I care what she said. I won't stand for impertinence from a girl of the North.
Insolencia.
If you would give her the chance to explain...
Perhaps she can explain why the Forresters have been loyal bannermen to House Stark for centuries. A house of traitors.
No son
They are
traidores.
noble, not traitors, Your Grace.
You
Me van a cortar la cabeza rápido.
Always quick to make your opinion known, with no thought or consideration for your proper place.
Lady Mira is northern, Your Grace, and new to King's Landing and its politics. She speaks her mind, but means no offense, Your Grace.
Sí, pretendo
Is
ofender.
your house willing to swear fealty to your new liege lord, Roose Bolton?
No.
Roose Bolton also served the Starks, Your Grace.
And proved his loyalty to the crown by bringing their house to a swift and sudden end.
Eso es verdad.
Old allegiances are not easily abandoned. But now that the war is over, we must look to rebuild and forge new alliances. There are ships and shields to be built, and Joffrey will need a steady supply of ironwood for his armies. I'm told there are others who would happily serve that purpose, but I trust we can rely on House Forrester.
Va a ser que no.
Forrester Ironwood does seem rather unique.
Our talent is unrivaled, Your Grace. Forrester Ironwood is highly sought after in the Seven Kingdoms.
So I'm told. And exceeded only by your lack of humility.
¿A que sí?
It would be a shame to see it fall into the hands of another house. I imagine you'd do almost anything to prevent that from happening, wouldn't you? Ask any Lannister, and they'd do whatever was necessary to save Casterly Rock. It would be unfortunate to see another house lay claim to what's yours.
There are limits, Your Grace.
Perhaps, but not if your house faces potential ruin.
What would you have the girl do, Cersei? It's not as if she fought beside the Starks, wielding a battle axe for the Northern Army.
Hombre, si me das un hacha, ya ves lo que le hago.
It raises an interesting question, I suppose. Can we truly blame those who end up on the wrong side of the war? Our dear Marjorie here was betrothed to Renly Baratheon on the false assumption that he would one day rule the Seven Kingdoms. Can we fault her for her mistake? Should she be held accountable?
¿Y tú por follarte a tu hermano?
She was just following her heart, Your Grace.
And the very same heart so quickly led her to my son.
If there's a point to this, I hope you find it quickly.
Loyalty can be such a hard thing to define. This city alone is filled with all sorts of ambitious opportunists looking to reinvent themselves, pretending to be something they're not.
Ya que es perra.
Who knows what lurks within their hearts? You are a girl from the north, here in service to Lady Marjorie. One can only assume her interests are yours. Yet loyalty to a king, that must be absolute, beyond question. And if your loyalties were to become conflicted between your king and the very person whom you serve, what would you do then?
Pues sin dudarlo te cortaría la
I'm
cabeza.
sure
a ti.
she
Let the
would...
girl answer the question. Go on.
I must choose Marjorie, Your Grace. I serve at her pleasure.
Clearly your handmaiden does not have her priorities straight.
Tú sí que no las
She
tienes en orden.
is a threat to the crown, isn't she? The most dangerous handmaiden in all of King's Landing.
She's headstrong, isn't she?
Lo ha dicho, el
Not
puto amo.
surprising, I suppose, for a northern girl. But not very encouraging either. I'd like a word with you, if I may.
Of course, Your Grace.
Uy. Vaya miradita me ha echado. Hola, puto amo.
I'll walk you out. This may come as a surprise, but I met your father once, at the tourney at Lannisport. Even then he didn't trust Roose Bolton. We only spoke briefly, but your father struck me as an honorable man. You have my condolences for his loss. These would be trying times for your family, even under the best of circumstances.
Thank you, Lord Tyrion. That's very kind of you to say.
Con este no puedo ser malo, tío.
You were brave to declare your loyalty to Lady Marjorie. No doubt she was pleased, but Cersei...
Solo queda satisfecha con...
forget what you said. It
Iba a decir una
was
burrada.
quite the first impression. I, of course, found it all highly entertaining. But it certainly wasn't what Cersei
no me
was
agrada.
expecting.
I don't particularly like her.
That was fairly apparent to everyone. My sister and I have our differences. She takes great pleasure in her little charades. I take mine in thwarting them. We must find our amusements where we can. She threatened to give your ironwood to another house. It is the Master of Coin who decides such matters. The crown needs boats. Boats need wood, and I speak for the crown in this regard.
¿Qué me estás
Not her.
sugiriendo?
What are you suggesting?
I suppose the crown could be persuaded to secure ironwood from House Forrester. Lady Marjorie might not look favorably on such an alliance, and it would infuriate Cersei. Although what would be amusing for me might prove rather dangerous
Da
for
igual,
you
con tal de joder a
and your
Cersei.
house. Are you willing to risk that? It may be far too dangerous.
It's a
Sí.
risk I'm willing to take, Lord Tyrion. Please.
You are a brave girl, aren't you? I'll consider it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I promised Sansa I would join her for dinner tonight. 3 beautiful bottles of Dornish wine await my arrival. The mere thought of them makes me thirsty already.
I hope we meet again.
Nothing would make Cersei happier. Until then, be careful. This is not the North. King's Landing can be a nest of vipers to the uninitiated.
Pues nada, a las víboras se las quema con fuego. Uy, nos ha llegado otra nota.
Mira, I was worried. How was it?
¿Pero por qué se cuela todo el mundo en mi habitación?
Cersei has a way of looking at you.
Ah, o es la habitación de otra.
It's more than a little intimidating.
It went well.
Ah, no, sí, en mi
Really?
habitación, coño.
That's a relief. Cersei is known for being rather difficult. Lady Marjorie has spent the entire day working on seating arrangements for the wedding. Of course, you and I are seated way at the back, here with the 4th cousins and the 9th-born sons. Ah, Sir Jaime. I wouldn't mind tarnishing that white cloak of his.
Sarah?
What? It's true. And Oberyn Martell, the Red Viper. I'm told he has a paramour, which I doubt is
Ay, muy guapo, no.
wife.
¿Qué
You'll
cojones?
get us in trouble.
Además queda un
Just
poco
having some fun.
desfavorecido. Al final.
Perhaps Lady Marjorie could make the right introductions. Who knows? We might meet our future husbands. Although, marrying a king, I can only imagine what that would be like. Would you marry Joffrey if it meant you'd become queen?
Ni de coña.
He does have a certain look
Que
about
tiene algo
him,
atrayente.
and he's always treated Lady Marjorie well, which is more than you can say
Ni
for
de
his
coña.
mother.
I
¿Estás
don't
loca?
want to be queen, no matter who I'd have to marry.
Don't want to be queen?
Nope.
You northerners. You'd make a perfect scepter. Well, I would marry him. Imagine the power you would have as queen of the 7 kingdoms.
Esta nos va a traicionar,
I
fijo.
might even allow you to be my handmaiden.
Oh, gracias.
Let's see, who else should we marry off?
A tu puta madre.
Brienne of Tarth and Tyrion Lannister. What a perfect match. Sir Bronn and...
What are you doing?
Oh, oh.
Well,
I'm sorry, my lady.
As am I. We shouldn't have been messing about.
this is not a game. It's a battle plan. Allies and enemies can be made with every move. Yet they say it is men who are powerful. The Queen was rather disappointed by your display, Mira. I'm just glad it's over.
King's Landing can be exhausting sometimes. There's always someone to please or some perceived slight to smooth over. I fear it will only get worse when I am queen.
Once they know your true heart, the lords and ladies will have no choice but to love you.
Do you agree?
Pelota.
It doesn't matter what you feel. It only matters what you say.
You learn very quickly. Your words to Cersei were brave, but I know you must fear what the Boltons might do to your family. I do appreciate your willingness to appease her, as difficult as it may have been.
Hombre, no la ha apaciguado
Thank
mucho,
you,
la
my
verdad.
lady. There's been something on my mind. Something important.
Sí, vamos a pedirle ayuda.
I did have a favor to ask of you in return.
Whatever you wish to say, you can say it in front of Sarah.
No me fío.
There are no secrets between us.
It's about my family.
I trust her.
Prefiero hablar a solas. Yo no me fío de
I
ella.
prefer to speak with you alone.
Sí, no me caes bien. Quizá por hacer eso es por lo que me traicione, pero bueno. Sí, recordará eso.
Go on. Ask.
Ya voy, ya te lo digo.
Forgive me, my lady. I wouldn't otherwise ask this of you, but my mother insisted. It's about my family.
Ramsay Snow. What would you have me do?
My mother fears our family will suffer if Ramsay is left to do as he likes. She thought, if a raven could be sent to the Boltons to let them know House Forrester has the protection of the crown. I know it's a lot to ask of you, and I wouldn't otherwise, but she insisted.
That is no small request, especially now.
I know, my lady, and I wouldn't ask this of you otherwise. But my mother has left me no choice. She insisted.
Joffrey knows only too well your family fought for the Starks. And now you would have me ask him to intervene.
Sí, Joffrey no me va a ayudar,
Is
eso
the
está claro.
situation that dire? Joffrey will not look favorably on such a request.
It is that dire, my lady. I fear for my family's
Es que no me gusta
safety.
ninguna de las otras respuestas.
I don't know, Mira. If Cersei were to find out...
No le va a gustar, pero...
Don't let the Queen bully you. You have power over him, Lady Marjorie, as no one else does. Not even his mother. Ramsay Snow will arrive at
Vamos, que le
Ironrath
pones
within the
burro
week.
a Joffrey.
I would never ask this of you if it weren't so urgent.
Very well. I'll make your request, but I cannot promise anything.
Thank you, my lady. I will send a raven to my family at once.
No se ha quedado muy convencida. Camino real, bosque de los lobos. Volvemos con Gareth. Veo que al contrario que en otros juegos de Telltale Games, aquí seguimos el control de varios personajes, como en la serie y en los libros.
Seven elves.
¿Qué pasa? Bueno. Hostia, están despellejando a uno.
Play a little game, shall we?
Hostia, el pirao este.
Did you know my ancestors wore the skins of their enemies as a coat?
Hostia puta. ¿Te has visto?
Not my best work, unfortunately. I suppose I have fallen out of practice. But he didn't make it easy, what with all that bloody noise.
Like a drowning cat. I thought he'd never stop.
As my father likes to say, A naked man holds few secrets, but the flayed man holds none.
Pity he didn't know your father was the Warden of the North.
He does now. How much further is it to these foresters?
Uh-oh.
A day, my lord. 2 at most.
What was that?
My lord?
Shh. Listen. No ha sido nada.
There.
No. No.
Hear that? I know I heard something.
Quédate quieto.
Never
Es
mind.
tan tonto que no es capaz ni de mirar detrás del árbol.
We've wasted enough time
Vale.
already.
Uf. Deja al pobre tipo ahí. Hecho migas. El emblema. Oh, oh.
Bloody hell.
Han dejado muy bien. Y bueno, creo que vamos a dejarlo por aquí. Hemos visto caras conocidas de la serie y de las novelas. Y hemos avanzado un poco más en la trama. Y hemos visto Desembarco del Rey. Continuará. O no. O no, no lo sé. Ya veremos.